Morning, y'all. Pinball here. Happy Friday morning, or Friday morning for y'all. Thursday afternoon for me. It's late afternoon, and it's kind of important what time I'm recording this because I wanted to kind of make a point to everybody here on today's topic. What I want to go over with you today is what is your freedom worth to you? Okay, and how can you save it, if you will? All right. We all know what's going on in 2020. We've all lived through everything between the election and hurricanes and wildfires, and God knows there's COVID, okay? And that's been the one that is basically the crux to all of this. Everything seems to revolve around COVID for everybody. You know, wear a mask, business closed, can't get to the doctor's office, can't go to the store, or whatever it would be, all right? Don't know if anybody else has paid attention to this, but like I said, it's Thursday afternoon, okay? And as of right now, this is what's going on. France, Germany, Switzerland, Italy, Bulgaria, Greece, Australia, and parts of Great Britain all have some sort of lockdown in place, whether it's bars and gyms and restaurants, whether it's everything, whether it's, the schools are open, but everything else is shut down, whether it's you're only allowed to go within a kilometer of your house, whatever it would be. There's shutdowns going on. Now, did you notice one country that's not on that list? It ain't the United States I'm talking about. China's not on that list. Don't y'all find it very odd that the country where COVID originated, for some reason, doesn't have any sort of lockdowns in place, that the pandemic is not any sort of concern there? Okay. We've all heard about Joe Biden. I'm going to close it all down. I'm going to shut down the country. Everybody's going to wear masks. We're all going to have masks on for 3 months and nobody can go anywhere. We're going to get rid of COVID that way. Hasn't worked in 7 or 8 months. Why is it going to work if we do it for 3? Okay. I remind everybody about a certain comment that came out of the 2012 elections in Rahm Emanuel. Okay. Never let a crisis go to waste. And that's exactly what the leftists in the world are doing. Okay. Now I want to ask you something. Do you know anything that France, Germany, Italy, Bulgaria, Switzerland, Greece all have in common? They're all broke, okay? The countries have more debt than they can manage, all right? And, we've heard this about Greece since, the Olympics were there, that the country was underwater. But that's why COVID is such a great thing for all these leftists. They figure if they can completely collapse their economies, they can get a redistribution of wealth around the world. Okay, that's what they want. Redistribution of wealth for the countries means all their debt gets wiped out. Okay, so any money that Germany owes to the United States or France owes to Australia or whatever it is will just disappear. They'll clean the slates on everybody's debt, countries-wise. Not going to clean your debt, not going to clean my debt. Okay. The countries will be, we don't owe any more money. Look how good we are. We don't owe any money. And of course, the people all will still have their debt. The problem with this is it's going to devalue your currency all over the place. And they know that, okay? So the latest topic that they want to add then, and you've probably seen stories about this, that, even here in the States, the federal government has been tasked to have everybody have a digital wallet by January, okay, where the government can put money into your digital wallet and you can go spend it. Now, for your leftists, that's great. That's what they want. Free money, free money. Hell, I don't have to work. Free money. That's the mantra of the left. I want to have what everybody else has. I just don't want to go earn it, okay? Well, the same thing works with your freedom, okay? You don't just get freedom. It's not a human right, if you will. It's something that is fought for and is fought to keep, okay? And we all know how the U.S. got their freedom. It was, Revolutionary War back 250 years ago. And a lot of men died, okay? A lot of women, kids, and everything like that too. But 1776, the fighting was done by men, okay? They fought to keep our freedom. We've seen wars throughout the last 250 years, all over the place. Some the United States been involved in, some not. I'm not belittling, saying it's only the United States. I mean, God knows, World War II happened and every country had people, fighting for their rights to be free, okay? But the left is insisting on using coronavirus to destroy the economy. And they want to destroy the world economy. And this goes back to a video I did a couple of weeks ago. But if they can destroy the world economy and then redistribute all the wealth, that's the ultimate goal. Now, 40% of the wealth in the world is in the United States. There's 192 other countries, all right? Those 192 other countries want the wealth that the United States has. So the redistribution of wealth is not going to benefit anybody in the United States. We're going to lose our wealth, okay? And whether your wealth is in gold, silver, dollars, land, whatever it's in, it's going to get taken from you, all right? Dollars are going to be devalued. The value of gold and silver probably will wind up going down. I mean, again, loss of supply and demand. If everybody's got some, it's not worth as much to the people that don't have any. If nobody's short on it, there's no value in it, okay? Land is one of those things they're not making any more of, okay? So imagine this, good old government comes out and says, you know what? You own 3 acres. Well, you know what we're going to do? We're going to subdivide your 3 acres into 9 different plots of land, and we're going to let you keep 1 plot, and we're going to give the 8 other plots out to 8 other groups, and then they can use it. Okay? They didn't do anything to earn it. It was just given to them. But for you, you did everything to earn it, and it was just all taken from you. That's what's kind of going to go on a world scale, all right? All the people who don't have anything are going to want what you have. They already want it. They're just now going to get it, okay? And the ones left holding the empty bucket are us. Now, you'll hear from every, I don't care if Warren Buffett's got to give up some of those billions of dollars, go for it. That's wonderful, but it's not just going to affect the 1%, if you will. It's going to affect everybody, okay? 40% of the wealth in the world is not held by 1% of the people in the United States. It's going to affect everybody. This is where they want the destruction of the middle class. And the destruction of the middle class doesn't mean make everybody rich. The destruction of the middle class means make that many people rich and that many people poor, okay? And I seriously doubt anybody watching this channel is going to be one of the aristocrats in all of this, okay? That's what's at stake, okay? Your freedom is what is at stake. This is what the politicians and the leftists are trying to do, okay? This is what Joe Biden and Kamala Harris want to do. They are so in the bag for China, it's unbelievable. You don't think that we're going to be sold out to the Chinese within 6 months of a Biden presidency? You're fooling yourself, okay? You better learn to speak Mandarin, because the shop owners in the United States are not going to be American come, a year from now in a Biden presidency. It's all going to be owned by the Chinese government. And if you think the Chinese government's going to say, oh, gee, you know what, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, go ahead and keep your store. No, they're going to be like, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, you can work in your store, all the profits go to us. Okay, that's how communism works, okay? You work, they get rich. That's what is at stake here. That's why I'm saying, how much value do you put on your freedom? Because the fight is coming, okay? And you can be as prepared as you want in each one of our little bubbles. I've got food stacked up, or I've got bullets and Band-Aids, or whatever it is, and that's your nice little bubble, okay? But eventually, all that stuff is going to run out, okay? Unless you've got 30 years of food stored, not food that stores for 30 years. I'm saying 30 years of food you can continually eat and store, and you're my age, okay, hopefully make it another 30 years. That's what's in store for you, okay? So eventually you're going to have to go there, hat in hand and go, please, sir, may I have another? That's it. All of a sudden you're Oliver Twist. You have to somehow be part of what is going to prevent this from happening, okay? Everybody pretty much knows what side of the fence I sit on, okay? Pretty obvious if you've watched any of my videos, all right? My personal belief is that if Trump doesn't win this election, the U.S. is doomed. That's it. And I'm not trying to fearmonger here or anything like that. It's just everything Biden has said here in the entire campaign, and everything Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi and the House, the Senate, any of the talking heads, they all want, they'll blatantly come out and say, we want a redistribution of wealth, okay? That's what's at stake here, folks. And we're not going to be the recipients, okay? We are going to be the resource that's going to get taken from, all right? Joe middle class who makes $50,000 a year or $40,000 a year, you're pretty much your median income in the United States, they're taking stuff from him, okay? It's not, I'm only taking stuff from people under $400,000. Yeah, okay, because that has always worked out so well. It's like, well, you know what? We've taken everything we can under 400, so let's drop it down to 300, 200, 150, 25. Oh, Mr. Jones, you make more than $10,000 a year? I'm sorry, we need your cow and your 2 chickens. Welcome to communism, guys. This is how the Soviet Union worked, okay? Soviet Union lasted for about 70 years and it blew up. It just collapsed under its own weight. That's what they're trying to take the entire world to. Do you get it? Okay? It's never, ever worked. They've tried it in specific countries, but now the great idea is, well, if the whole world was like this, then it would work. Right, if you make the whole world impoverished, that destroys humanity, okay? Which kind of goes to their next idea, okay? They want to depopulate the world by about 85%, all right? And if anybody ever watched, there's an obscure movie you'll see every once in a while, it's on TV. It's called The Kingsman. It's kind of a little bit of a farce on like a James Bond movie or whatever. But the second in the series, I think there might have been 3, but I only know of 2. The second one was, Samuel L. Jackson is the bad guy. And he had come up with a way where all the people in the world would have a little chip in their phone. Chip, sound familiar? Put it here. And when he decided to push a button, it would scramble your brain and all of a sudden make you want to kill everybody else. Now, I don't think we're going that far. That's Hollywood silliness, but they could do it in a different way where all of a sudden we're all fighting each other. And the elites, the aristocrats, are just going to sit back and go, yeah, you know what? Alabama's doing pretty good. They've killed off most of their people. So, okay, Illinois has done pretty good. They've got about 75%, 10 more to go, and we'll be good. And this is what they're trying to do, to completely control the world, okay? Remember the last guy who wanted to completely control the world and the havoc he wreaked on Europe, okay? That was, about 80 years ago, if you haven't figured out who I'm talking about. There's got to be enough people that are going to stand up and fight back, okay? What I'm saying in regards to prepping, all right, you've got to have everything you need to keep yourself strong right now, okay? Obviously the food to keep you physically strong. You also need to keep yourself mentally strong because eventually the battle is going to make it to your front door. And you've got to have the wherewithal to fight, because if you don't, you're just going to go, yes, sir, you'll give me a loaf of bread if I give you my house? Here are the keys, okay? That's what they're hoping for. If they can destroy an economy by locking us all at home, okay? So basically you're now a prisoner, okay? They're going to decide how much food you eat, okay? They're going to decide how much time you go outside. Does this all start to sound like something? You are going to be basically an inmate in your own house. You're told when you can go out to exercise. You're told how much and when you can eat. You're told what you can allowed to do. All right. I'm ex-military. That sounds like basic training. Okay. For the rest of you guys, that sounds like prison. Okay. There's not a light at the end of the tunnel for most prisoners. There was for basic training. Okay. We did eventually get out. Have your mind set. Have everything taken care of, because they're going to try to take it from you if this doesn't stop quickly. All right. Get with your neighbors. Find your groups. Cement those relationships that you have. I mentioned a while ago that Travis at the Prepared Homestead had started a map, if you will, of all the preppers. And he was basically keeping a database, not with everybody's name or anything like that, but literally your email address, a nickname, and a relative area to where you were. And so if I wanted to get in touch with people in my local area, I could get with Travis and say, hey, who do you have who's in southeastern Tennessee or in western Virginia and, southeastern Kentucky, northeastern Tennessee, and western Virginia. I'd like to talk to some of these people and, kind of coordinate a little bit. And maybe they're 50 miles away or something like that. And you go, well, what would I need somebody for 50 miles away? Well, chances are you don't. I mean, in my area. But let's say you're in New York City, or you're in downtown Chicago, or downtown St. Louis, and the shit gets really bad, and you need to bug out. And, you're certainly not going to bug out from New York City to Newark, okay? I don't think you're going to wind up any safer, okay? So now you're looking at, am I going to go to upstate New York? Am I going to, get into, western Massachusetts? Something that's relatively short. But again, do you know anybody there? How are you going to get there? Where's your end point to go? Okay. Especially if you have to walk. All right. You're not walking from New York City to upstate New York in a day. You're going to need to stop along the way. And as much as you have all the survivalists out there going, oh, gee, I'll pitch a tent and I'll sleep in the woods and do whatever. Okay. Realistically, you're tugging along a couple of kids with you. You're going to want a warm bed and a cup of coffee or something to get out of the elements. I mean, come on. We're going into winter. Anybody know what winter in upstate New York looks like? You're not sleeping outside. Okay. So make your contacts. If you never see the person in real life, fine. Maybe you made a friend somewhere. Is there anything wrong with that? Okay. The prepping community is not exactly huge, but we all seem, for the most part, to be pretty good people that are willing to help others out. So make those contacts. Do something like that. It might make you feel a little better, calm you down a little bit too, because the shit's real, and it's gonna get scary. And if you do need to go somewhere, it's a hell of a lot easier to go somewhere going, okay, I know John in North Carolina, Prepper Nation, let's say, I can connect with him and he knows who I am and everything. Hey, John, Tennessee just blew up. I'm heading to North Carolina. Can I come out there and stay with you, for a while? At least I know somebody to contact, okay? Not that John and I've had that conversation, but I bet you if we did, we'd be reciprocal about it. But, think about things like that, all right? It's going to get crazy. What they're trying to do. What I'm asking everybody to do is not take my word for it or whatever. Spend a couple hours this weekend, get online and research a little bit about what I'm talking about here. Maybe you'll learn something. Maybe that'll get you a little bit more mentally prepared for what to expect. If none of this ever happens, good. I hope it doesn't happen. But if it does happen, at least you have an idea of what to expect and you're a little bit prepared for it here. Okay. That's what I got, guys. Have a great weekend. I don't want to go more than 20 minutes. Stay safe. Stay out of trouble. Definitely stay out of anywhere there's riots. But, as usual, pray for the best, prep for the worst. Pinball out.